Well, but welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I hope you're enjoying these videos. There's a lot of foundational type information you need to gather and grasp before we can really start getting into like the real, what I call the meat and potatoes of actually trading. But that's okay, as you're a beginner, it's just like everything else that you start off with. Start a new job, they don't just throw you into the wolves. They start walking you into it, down the path a little at a time so that you can then eventually function and do your tasks. So, kind of looking at this from the same perspective, really. So, if you're going to trade, two things that you're going to need. One, you're going to need a brokerage account. Now, what brokerage account, what brokerage should you use? Use the one that you want. That's really the bottom line. I know it sounds simple, but myself, I use Schwab. Does that mean you need to use Schwab? No, you don't have to. There's Robinhood, there's E-Trade, and all these other things. Anyhow, find the one that you like and sign up for it. Now, I will say with Schwab, they have a platform called Thinkorswim, and it's a trading platform. Now, I will say it's pretty powerful and all that. But what's nice is it has a built-in means for paper trading, and that's one way that you can paper trade. But you're going to need a brokerage account. Now, do you have to put money into that to begin with? Some accounts there'll be some kind of a minimum requirement. I believe with Schwab, you can open an account with Schwab, but you don't have to fund it right away. And so what's nice with that, what I mean by that is, all right, you go and you create an account, just like if you're creating an email account, right? You want to know who you are and who you're what's your address and all this kind of information. Keep in mind they have to report to the IRS and those sort of things. But anyways, you're going to create an account. But once you have the account created inside Schwab, you can look up the link to download Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is a free platform that you install outside of Schwab, but it's part of their system. Anyways, you install it. I would only recommend you use the desktop or laptop, if you would, the same thing as the desktop version of their Thinkorswim, because all the functionality is there and you're going to want that. But anyhow, but you can install that and then you open that up, you log in with the same credentials that you have with your account. Hence the reason you need to start an account. So you can download it and then you can log in. But as you go to log in, at the bottom of the login screen, you have a choice to make. Either you can do live or you can do paper trading. You select the paper trading and it opens up. Now, the platform you're looking at in the paper trading is the exact same platform that you're looking at when you're doing live. The only difference is you're not trading real money. But what's nice is it's using the real time data from the market. So in other words, it's exactly the same as if you were really trading, except you're not risking any of your money or any of your capital. And that's a pretty good thing. Now, do these other brokerage houses have the same thing? I don't know. I've been with Schwab for a long time. I started to switch over to Robinhood. I tried it for about 15 minutes and I didn't like it. Now, what did I not like about it? It's like they've made the interface very simple, and perhaps if you're just starting out, maybe simple will be really nice. I don't know. Um, what I didn't like is I got into a trade, and then I wanted to get out of it, and uh, and it was real hard for me to determine was I truly out of it. I eventually did figure out, yeah, I was out of it, but there was a short moment there that was kind of panicking because the position on that trade was turning around quickly. And I really wanted to make sure I was out of that trade. So, anyways, is it Robin Hood's fault? Probably not. You know how it is. You get used to something, and you just like, kind of like that old dog new trick thing, right? So, anyways, pick the brokerage house that you want. Now, why do you need a brokerage house? Well, all right, if you're going to start trading, you're going to want to buy and you're going to want to sell stocks, ETFs, and maybe options eventually. Well, you got to do it somewhere. These brokerage houses are tied in with the markets, meaning so you like if you're going to trade, you're going to go into Schwab, and you're gonna like, oh yeah, I want to buy 10 shares of like Nvidia or 20 shares of Tesla or whatever you want to buy. If you want to buy an ETF, maybe you want to buy SPY or you want to buy QQQ, they call it Qs, you know. And it's just like kind of almost like if you're placing an order like on Amazon, really. You go and you pick the one that you want to purchase and you make the purchase. It's pretty straightforward. And then you'll get an email that notifying you that, the purchase was made. Now, there's a lot more detail, obviously, to all this. I'm just doing a quick overview. But you need a brokerage to be able to do that. Um, so you want to have that. And then, so you want the means of being able to place the trade. And then the other thing is you're going to want a means of doing your technical analysis to determine what trade you want to make. Now, like for example, Schwab has a charting system. Almost all these things, I imagine, they have a charting system, and there's a lot of charting systems out there that are independent of a brokerage house. Personally, I have started using tradingview.com, and I like that, and I'll be showing you what that looks like in the near future. You can go and look at it now on your own if you want, and they have a free trial version thing for like 30 days, and then after that you got to pay for it. But think about they're providing you a really valuable service, and it's just something that you need. One of the things I like about tradingview.com is the fact that not only are you seeing the securities during the trading day, i.e. the NASDAQ, it is open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. But there's pre-market and there's post-market, or what they call after hours. And you can see the action that's happening on those securities during that time frame. Why would you want to know that? Well, if you're getting ready to trade something at the beginning of the day, if the only thing you're looking at is what happened up to the closing the day before, what happens? Picture the sun going around the earth, or whatever the daylight, if you would, the days going around. So like after the Nasdaq closes, then you got the Japanese markets, the Asian market opens up, and then you got the European market. So all this trading is going on now. Not They're not trading all the stuff that's on the Nasdaq, but they're trading some of it, and some of those people are actually trading after hours on on the U.S. securities. But point being is you want to be aware of what's going on. Excuse me, with that particular security, before the opener, because it may have a big impact with whether if you want to trade that or if you think it's going up, going down, going sideways. But anyway, so you need a charting system and you need a brokerage house. Or with your sometimes, like for example, Thinkorswim has a charting system built into it. You can use that, comes with it. I'm not saying not to use it. I'm just saying that there's various means of getting your charting information. But if you're going to be a trader, you're going to be using a charting system to figure out what you're going to buy. But those are like the two sides of the equation, if you would, for being a trader. You have to have the means of trading, and then you have to have the means of determining what you want to trade and what kind of movement that security is doing. Um, you don't want to buy a stock to go long to find out that it's dropping in price and you should have shorted it. So anyhow, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap this up now, and it's just to give you an idea that those are things that you need. Do you need to fund those, like your brokerage account right away? That's up to you. If you have the funds available, you might want to do that. What that means is your brokerage is going to be tied to your bank account because that's how you're going to transfer the money back and forth. If you make money trading and you want to download some of that to go enjoy the fruits of your labor from trading, that's how you get it back into your bank account. And the way you initially fund your account is going to be moving money from your bank account, to your brokerage account. So when you move the money into the brokerage account, just to be clear, you're not trading it right then. Think of it as like your brokerage is kind of like another bank almost. So you put money in there, it's sitting there, and until you actually trade it, it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there. But when you go to trade, you have to have money sitting there so that you can trade. Okay. So, anyways, those are two things for you to be considering. Um, go and research that a little bit for yourself if you want, but I just want you to be aware of those so that because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start getting into the charting and we're going to start talking about that pretty soon. So, anyhow, there you go. Hope you have a great day. Take care.